What happens when you get into debt?
I'm telling you now, you're going to get hurt.
And you can't...
I'm going to struggle to pay this.
...or won't pay it back.
Doesn't matter what you want, sir. Unfortunately, that's the law.
We meet the High Court enforcement agents who are pushed to their limits.
Oh, no! Hey, evil! You have to down to hell!
Well, I'll smash the window then. It's false imprisonment.
Dealing with desperate debtors.
Hello?
In dramatic situations.
You want to stand here like a big man. Leave it. Talk to me. Talk to me. Push me about.
We meet the people who are losing their homes.
I don't know where I'm going to stay for the night.
That's an immediate eviction.
And their possessions.
The desks are going. Everything.
You're joking.
Okay.
If you can't pay...
High Court enforcement!
...they'll take it away.
The effects of Britain's financial crisis are still being felt. The number of consumers being taken to court for unpaid debts rose again in 2014, the third year-on-year increase. It is the latest evidence that shows more and more people are struggling to pay their debts.
Brian O'Shaughnessy and Delroy Anglin are High Court enforcement agents. They travel hundreds of miles each week, collecting payments and seizing goods to settle unpaid debts.
I don't know Andover too well. I've never really been down here.
Today, they're in Andover, Hampshire.
We've got a Brian...
Brian, what a great name.
I was thinking that.
The debt is for an unpaid compensation claim following a road traffic accident.
The amount we're looking to collect, me old cocker, £4,766.05.
After 100 yards, you have reached your destination.
Should be right there on the left.
As they reach the address, Brian and Del spot someone cleaning a van outside.
Oh, there he is. I'll talk to him. Hello, sir.
Hello?
Do you live here?
Yeah, why?
I'm looking for Brian.
Why?
Are you him?
What are you doing there?
I'll tell you if you're him. Are you Brian? Sorry, I'm a High Court enforcement agent, sir.
A what?
High Court enforcement agent.
What for?
Well, if I know if you're Brian, I'll be able to reveal the details.
Is it confirmed?
What are you looking for, mate?
You're not him?
No.
Del is suspicious.
You said you lived here earlier.
I didn't say anything, mate.
I asked you if you... No, I asked you if you lived here.
But then, a neighbour calls out from across the street.
Ah, obviously you are Brian. You've been called. I need to speak to you about this High Court writ, mate. High Court writ.
The man is not cooperating, but the writ allows the team to enter the house without force to seize goods if he can't or won't pay.
Del, come in here.
My colleague's got into your house.
What the fuck are you doing in there? Get out!
Calm down, mate.
Get out!
No.
Get out!
No.
Get out!
No.
Get out!
Your hands off me.
Down!
Your hands off me.
There's someone in the house!
We're High Court enforcement.
Get out!
Hold on, let me
Get out!
No.
We're High Court
problem.
enforcement.
Get out!
Okay.
You haven't been welcomed in.
Don't need welcome.
Get out!
Will you calm down, sir?
No problem. No.
No, we're standing
sir.
here, sir.
We will talk to you here. Please get your hands off me. Please get your hands off me.
outside my house?
I will talk here with you, sir. Okay?
Can you stand outside my
No.
house?
No, sir.
Listen, sir.
Can you stand outside
You're
my
making a
house,
mistake.
please?
Get out!
Okay, well, let's talk
we
about
need
it.
to speak to
Get
him.
out!
Let me show you the paperwork I
Get
got.
out! I'll be outside.
No.
Get out!
No. Please take your hand off me. That's all I'm asking. If you don't take your hand off me, I'll call the police.
What is this about?
I'm a High Court enforcement agent, yeah?
Yeah.
We've got a High Court writ for Brian.
For what?
He owes Miss Kelly neighbour...
What's about my fucking insurance? You're gonna have to get out. If it's
No,
insurance,
we
get out.
don't have to get out.
Well, you're gonna have to deal with my insurance, mate. I don't know what
No,
you're
we
doing.
don't, sir.
The debtor thinks that the money is owed by his insurance company, but the writ states that he's personally responsible.
Just listen to me, right? We've got a High Court writ, OK? Now, I want to make this very, very simple. You don't have to speak to me if you don't want to, but we're here to collect this money.
Right, I'm going to start you off, right? Any problems, you deal with my insurance
No,
company.
we
That's
can't.
what I pay insurance.
Well, no, we can't, because the High Court have issued a writ against you.
Why?
Ask him, I don't know why.
Because my insurance company can't sort shit out.
We
It's not
don't
my
have
problem.
any information.
Right, hold on a second here. This is about an accident.
Okay.
I'll tell you, this is about an accident here. Is this all right, Brian?
Yeah.
This is about an accident that Brian had on his motorcycle, right? His insurance company was dealing with this here, right? It is up to them to deal with that, not for you to come
Well, hold
here.
on. Let me finish then. Let me just cut you there. They are dealing with it. We've got a High Court writ.
You might want to get onto insurance now and speak to them about it while we start.
I'm not getting onto anybody, mate.
You're not going to get onto anybody. Fine, then you need to pay it.
I'm paying fuck all. You can get in my house.
No.
You can take me with you. Come on.
No, we don't arrest
them.
We don't arrest
Go
people.
outside.
See you later then.
As the son is refusing to pay, the team have no option but to seize his goods.
Okay, now we need to determine what goods are his in here and what are yours.
Fuck all, this is my house.
Okay.
You have no right to lift anything from this property at all. No, you don't.
Okay.
I'm not involved in this here,
is that your son? Is he your son?
Yes, he is my son.
Right, now we've tried to speak to him outside. Let's get this straight. We didn't want to come in here. We wanted to speak to him. Hold on, you're not listening. I've done you the courtesy.
Yes, I
I've done the
understand
courtesy
that.
of listening to you, right?
I'm trying to make it
Okay,
up.
now listen to me just for a second, right?
Right.
It's your son's attitude. We're in here because he didn't want to speak to us out there. He still doesn't want to speak to us, and we have to, of course.
You followed it into my
No, we didn't
allowed
follow.
to be in
We were
here.
allowed to be in here, and we didn't have to.
This
We
is
didn't
my
follow.
house, mate.
But
This
he
has
lives
nothing
here.
to do-
He
No,
does live
no,
here.
He
Okay.
doesn't live
Well,
here.
So you don't
This
mind
is
if we
my
walk
house.
around and check the rims and see if his stuff's in there?
What stuff?
His clothes and his trainers and all this stuff.
What do you mean his
you haven't got well, let's go upstairs, me and you, let's go.
No, mate.
Well, hang on, you haven't, so you, well, I will be, okay.
Don't put a smile on your face.
Why not?
Got one over me.
It's not about one over
This is
you.
my house.
And we respect that.
People get upset with our presence. People throw the dummy out. They shout, they rant, they rave. And I don't mind that, as long as it's not physical.
Okay, in 5 minutes, I'll be entering your house, and if you obstruct me, I'll call the police and you'll be arrested.
Call the police.
Cool. No, in 5 minutes, you can try and call him.
This is my house.
Okay.
Listen, this is wrong. This is totally wrong.
You need to speak to your son.
Speak to your son then. son.
No.
So we're going, come on.
No, but you're not
Let's go.
coming. No, you're not coming.
Okay,
back
fine.
to my
You will
house.
be.
You're
It's fine, it's fine.
not going to force your way into my
We're
house.
already in your home.
You're already in your
No,
house. son.
you're not.
Give me your
gonna
phone, please.
Get out.
That's fine, we'll call the police.
Call the
That's your
police
phone.
now, please.
We-
How can you be in my house? I haven't done anything.
That's why we're allowed in your
I'm
home.
We've
not
got a High
involved
Court
in
writ,
anything
sir.
here.
You're not listening, are you? You know what's going to happen? This will spiral out of control.
Absolutely not. I'm gonna phone
When
to
it
the police.
doesn't need to spiral
Listen
out
to
of
me.
control.
This is my house.
I know, you keep repeating
Come in,
yourself.
listen
Hello?
to my house. Can you please-
Hello, my name's Brian O'Shaughnessy. I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
As Brian calls the police, the son returns.
Can you do something?
Yes, please, yeah. I've got the debtor here, his father, become obstructive.
Right.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to tell you now, if
Thank
you don't
you.
get out, you're going to get seriously hurt.
Cool.
And that's not a threat, that's a promise. Get
Okay.
out. We'll talk outside. Whatever you got
No.
to say outside of this door.
You didn't
I
want to
will
speak.
promise you now.
You didn't.
Hold that.
You didn't want to speak outside.
You're gonna. Are you
Come
threatening
on,
me?
outside, you're in my
threatening me?
house.
No, that's fine.
Sir.
It's a promise.
The police.
Come on, Cant.
Look,
Outside.
the police are on
Outside.
their way.
All go outside,
Outside.
and talk
Sir.
about this. Get-
Outside. We
please
can talk about
get out of
outside.
my house.
No, sir.
Get outside.
Hang on a moment.
Tensions are rising, and no one's backing down.
Get out.
Please, please.
We're going to speak here.
No, you're going to get hurt. Get out of the house. I'm telling you now, you're going to get hurt.
Okay.
Get out of the
Thank you.
house.
Please get out.
No.
He doesn't need to get
Get
to
out.
that, does he?
It does, well, it
Can the
does.
police
Get out of the
please?
house.
Please.
I can say anything you need to outside. Come on, let's go.
Sir, don't touch me, sir.
I'm a
Please
High
don't
Court
touch me, sir.
enforcement
Don't
agent.
touch me. Look,
Please.
no one's. Don't touch me,
This is your own
sir.
safety, mate. Get
Look,
out.
I'm just saying
Get
to you.
out.
Look,
I can't protect you from what you're about to do.
sir,
Get
look,
out.
sir, look,
Get
sir,
out.
sir, just wait.
Get out.
Please,
We're not waiting.
Look,
We're going outside. Come on.
Hold on.
Get out.
Look,
Get out. Trust me,
hold
you're
on.
going to get hurt.
Hold on.
Get out.
Look, just wait.
Get out. Get out. Come on. I don't talk about anything outside. Come on.
get out.
Hold on, just calm down. Look, just calm down. Look, stop it.
Hold that.
Look, stop it.
Please get out of my house. Put my glasses. Hold my glasses down.
I got him. I got him.
Out of my house.
Get off me. Get off me. Stop it. Get off me. Get off me.
Now, with the police on their way, father and son are still physically resisting the team.
Get off me. Stop it. Get off me. Get off me. Stop it. Get out. Get off me.
Leave it, please.
Stand back. Stand back. Stand back. Stand back. Stand back. Stand back.
We're not moving anywhere. Stop it.
Smash my house up now. Get out of my
Stand
house.
back. Stand
Get
back.
out of my house.
Stand back. Stand back from me.
Listen,
Stand back.
stop
Do
it.
not do
Stand
not
back.
push me over.
Stand back,
Look, we're
please.
not. Stop back.
pushing me.
What? Stop
Stand
it.
back.
Stop pushing
We're
me.
not
Stand
leaving.
back.
Stop it.
Stop pushing me.
Stand
Get out
back.
of my house, please.
No, sir.
Please get out of
We're
my
not
house.
Don't threaten me.
Get out.
Please.
Stand back, please.
Please
We're not
get out of my
moving.
house.
We're not moving.
Please get out of my house.
No.
Can you call?
You've assaulted me. That's a criminal offence.
I'm not here to be hurt. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm not here to fight people. But sometimes people don't want to listen, and it goes down that route.
He's trying to protect
No.
me.
No, he's not. He was
Yes.
making threats.
He is trying to protect
He
me.
pushed me.
Please. Please get out of my house.
No, sir.
We're not
Get
moving.
your hand. Step back. Step back.
Get out.
No,
Sit
not
down
that.
then.
Can you not see it?
You are the one who's brought this, you said.
No.
Right? You were threatening me, right?
You said you were going to hurt us.
Please.
Well,
Get your hands off
some
me.
invaders.
Get your hands off me.
Hello, there's people trying to get in my house.
With Brian and Dell staying put, the son also calls the police.
They say they're bailiffs, but we've got no proof.
Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me.
They're inside my hallway now. They've been throwing us around.
Stupid.
No, I've tried to get further in the house as well.
Tell them we're High Court enforcement agents.
Marvellous, thank you. Bye, bye.
Fantastic. Please on the way, yeah? Silly Brian.
A police officer arrives almost immediately.
Can we just stand down here?
Hold on, don't drag me.
I'm not. I'm just going to close the door.
Yeah, you are.
Please.
Right, we're High Court enforcement
Yep,
agents.
okay.
I've arrived outside here. I've seen this gentleman cleaning his van.
Yep.
He didn't want to reveal who he was. Whilst I'm trying to speak to him, a gentleman from across the road goes, "Brian, are you all right?" So I know it's him. Colleague has come in.
Stood here.
All right? And we've stood right here.
Yep.
He's come now and he's flipped, wanting us to leave. We're not leaving.
Okay. The drama's over at the moment, but I do need other units over.
This gentleman then
Yep.
promised that I would get hurt if I didn't leave because he wouldn't be responsible.
He wasn't talking about
It's all on
It's
camera.
on camera. They tried to push us out. I've been assaulted. We've pushed them away.
Yeah. So I've pushed them back using reasonable force
Yep.
to protect ourselves. 2 or 3 times I've done that because they kept coming at us, and we've opened palms, please stay back. That's what we've asked them to do. They've continued to come at us. Okay? We're here with a High Court writ which needs to be satisfied.
Yep. So,
And this is the data here.
what do you require me to help you do?
Well, we're now going to go around the house and look at assets, because I'd rather get payment here and leave. I don't think it's going to come to that. Then I need to determine what assets Brian has here. This is Dad's house.
What amount of payment do you talk about?
Hang on a moment. Hang on.
We've 4,500 now.
Yeah,
This is
all
the writ. You need to speak. I've gone through this with you already, right? And your son has been the one who said it's about some insurance. Now, that's about
Just,
all I
I'm
know.
going to stop you right here, right now. They are not going to come in any further. Anything we can do will be sorted out outside.
They have a High
We will
Court
be
writ.
here.
This is
Then
my
this
house.
is my
We've
house.
taken that into account.
Okay.
We understand that.
Okay.
Okay, so let me reassure you, any goods that belong to you, they will be left alone.
On the what judgment?
Under that judgment there.
So that bit of paper,
Yes, it is, yeah.
you got to have a copy of that?
I'll get you a
this is
copy.
regarding me, no?
Yeah.
I can't-
No, this is
can I
my
have a
copy.
now?
This is my copy.
What does that say?
We will get
Read
you
it. Do you want me to read it to you?
No, I'll read it out, mate.
Okay, fine.
The son is still convinced his insurance company is liable for the payment.
No, no, you speak to them. Your insurance company's liable. You are.
We asked you to speak to them and you said no. Well, you said no, didn't you? Well, you said you weren't going to do it.
Office hours, 5:30.
You're being
can't
very
turn up here.
difficult.
I'm not being difficult.
You are.
It's not
It's
anybody's
a
fault
situation
here.
that I've
Do you know what? Let me.
This is a situation I've been put
Brian.
into by someone else's incompetence to do their job.
Brian, are the insurance company liable to pay it?
Yes.
Right, can I just advise you something? If the insurance company are liable and they agree to that, they will pay this. It's happened before. So what I'm trying to plead and ask you to do is give them a call and ask them about it. It's up to date.
Our office's hours are closed.
Okay, do you know what?
Open from
Let's go.
8:30
Let's carry on.
to 5:30.
Officer, we're gonna carry on. Okay?
Yes, we can.
We can.
We are
Officer.
going to do it.
A second police officer arrives.
Might have been able to do something.
Hello.
Hi there. Come in. What we need you to do at the moment is just allow these gents to look around your house, okay?
Right. I won't. I can't have them in my house, please.
It's actually a criminal offence obstructing us.
They're a bit of paper.
Let me finish,
No.
please.
This is going to happen, okay? They've got the paperwork from the courts. There's nothing we can do about that at the moment.
The police are very important when a situation deteriorates because people recognise their authority, and sometimes they're the communication vehicle that we have to go through in order to break that emotional cycle that people find themselves in, to recognise the fact that we do have the right to be in your property.
The police arrange to give Brian and Dell access to the house to see if the son has any belongings that could satisfy the writ.
I'll stay with you, he'll stay with you. We'll keep it nice and calm, and just to satisfy your mind what is in here and what isn't in here.
Okay.
All right?
Come ahead, no, I am welcoming you into my house.
Okay, so where shall we start? Just
Everything in here is mine.
everything is yours.
Everything.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
After a quick inspection, Del emerges.
Got nothing. Everything in there is Dad's. Cool. I got sweet for you, mate. Yeah.
With no assets to seize, Brian and Del's only option is to allow time for the son's insurance company to settle the debt.
What we're going to do, we'll allow you to speak to the insurers tomorrow morning first thing, yeah? What you must stress to them is that it's now with the High Court and that this needs to be settled. If they are liable or if they've made a mistake, they will have to pay it, yeah?
The tension has gone, but the explosive incident is still raw.
Brian, I just want to say something, yeah? I'm really upset about what happened earlier, yeah? I'm not in this job and done this job for 11 years to be put in a situation like that. I get no enjoyment out of it, yeah? I've got 4 children, I'd like to go home in one piece, yeah? I understand why you did it, okay? And just talk to us next time if you ever get anybody like us. We're not unreasonable. It's a lesson learned, yeah? All right? I want you to shake my hand before I leave today.
Yeah.
If you are liable for it, call me up and we'll sort it out. Okay?
Yeah.
Happy days.
Good.
See you later.
We go after Dad.
Brian and Del will have to wait until tomorrow to see if the insurance company will pay up. If not, they'll be back.
Oh.
Recent figures show that private rents are rising faster than mortgage costs. Across Britain, more than 800 properties are repossessed every week.
Wingham, Kent. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bohill and Phil Short are on their way to repossess a cottage where the tenant owes over £3,000 in rent.
This is just so tight round here, isn't it?
It's very picturesque, though.
It is, yeah.
Almost feels like you've got to have a tractor to live around here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the team aren't here to collect the unpaid rent. They're here to evict tenant Andrew Bowman today.
Andy's now out of ICU and he's hopefully going to be home by Friday. Ha! OK, locksmith, if you'd like to work your magic, there's obviously nobody in.
The note on the door implies the property is empty, but a twitch of the blinds upstairs suggests otherwise.
He's in.
He's in?
Yeah.
Has he seen you? Hello, Mr. Bowman.
No, he's not here.
Right, I'm a High Court enforcement agent. We have a repossession order for this property today.
Do you?
We do, yeah.
Oh, well, I'll get it clear it out for him then.
Yes. There's no immediate rush, in as much that if he's got... Is he actually in hospital or something? We didn't realise that, obviously.
I can sort it out.
Is there anything you need now?
I'll grab a few bits if that's all right, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We normally allow an
I
hour
don't
for
have to
that.
stay in here
but,
while he's been in hospital.
OK, you're a friend of his, I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, if he changes the lock, I'll come back with a truck later and clear it out for him.
That's fine. All right, so thank you. What's your name?
Paul Stevens.
Oh, so there you go. Paul Bohill. Nice to meet you.
All right, mate.
And who's this?
Oh, I'm dog sitting as well.
Really?
Now I've got to sort that fucking out.
What's the matter? What's wrong with him?
He's had quite a bit bowel cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
So is all this is all bad timing then?
This is all awful timing for him, yeah.
Is it? It's rent arrears by the look of it. He's not paid the rent for a while. Is he running into problems like that?
He said he was struggling with it, but...
What's he
owes? It's too late what he owes, isn't it? He didn't say anything to me.
Well, it's 3,200.
If he pays that, is it done?
I doubt it. Where is he now this minute? I mean, does he need to be told?
I shall phone him very shortly, mate. Yeah, he can't talk to me. He's got a tube down his throat.
Has he? Oh, jeez. Where is he though? Is he still in hospital? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, couldn't be worse, really, could it? I wonder if the landlord's aware of all this.
I don't know. Hey,
With the news that the tenant is seriously ill in hospital, Paul phones the landlord to see if she wants to postpone the eviction.
The guy is not here. His friend is staying here at the moment because he's actually in, I guess, the Kent and Canterbury. He's just had an operation for bowel cancer. Were you aware of any of this? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'll say he isn't here, so I can't sort of analyse that situation. Yeah, OK. All right, no problem. So we'll carry on as before.
The landlord isn't convinced that the tenant is genuinely ill.
I've spoken to the landlord. I think there's some difficulty in believing what is the truth and what isn't.
Well, I don't know.
No, I understand. I'm not drawing you into it. I'm just giving you the story. My mobile number is on there. My name is Paul Bowhill. I say, if you've got what you need, we'll go around and make sure everything's locked up, take photographs here.
Yeah.
It's a criminal offence if anybody breaks back in here. This is just the routine. No, I'm just giving you the routine.
I don't think it's going to work breaking into it.
Have you got a key for the back door?
No, there's no key in the back door.
There is no key, OK.
What's your... Paul, you said, isn't it? All right, have I got a contact number for you?
You haven't.
No. All right, I'll just leave it open. If you need to ring me or get him to ring me, please do so.
I'll ring the landlord.
Thank you for your cooperation. All right, sir. Yeah, all right, sir. You take care.
All right, mate.
Bye-bye.
Just 10 minutes after Paul's arrival, the tenant's friend leaves the cottage.
That could have gone horribly wrong.
Yeah.
He's big enough and ugly enough.
Could have gone extremely wrong.
But as Paul does a routine check on the state of the property, he's in for a surprise.
Oh dear. What's that? Cannabis farm. Full scale.
Oh, yeah. It's quite a sophisticated little setup.
It's a professional setup, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, well. I'll call the police now. So no wonder the bloke wanted to get his arse out of here. My name is Paul Bowhill. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. We're effecting a repossession at a property in Wingham. We've found this full-scale production facility upstairs.
Oh, right. You found a drug factory?
Yeah, but it's going really well. You know, it's not just it's not a personal consumption one. It could supply the whole of Wingham.
But at the minute, we'll aim to get someone out within the hour.
You're a star. Thanks very much. Cheers. Bye.
In the light of his discovery, Paul wants to find out more about the absent tenant, Andrew Bowman.
So what I was just looking for, to see if there's a photograph which might actually show us the tenant. We're now beginning to doubt whether there is an illness, because there would normally be a load of appointment letters for the hospital.
But then, Paul makes an astonishing discovery.
The tenant.
The man claiming to be house-sitting is actually Andrew Bowman. The police arrive in force, and Paul hands over to the officer in charge.
The man who we saw here, who said he wasn't the tenant, we've now found is the tenant, but he's now got a beard and he's slightly balding.
That's the same bloke.
That's the same bloke, yeah. So there's his passport. That's what he looks like. We haven't disturbed anything. You're in charge.
Paul's detective work today has put an end to a sophisticated illegal enterprise.
The bloke's obviously a local man. He's not going to be able to get away with it. We've got him on camera, for heaven's sake, so we could just put that up on the front page of the Kentish Express. Do you know this man? And you'll get 50 phone calls in no time flat.
Recent figures show that debt is forcing the sale of a growing number of farms. As prices paid for produce have gone down, small farms are increasingly vulnerable to financial hardship.
Battle, East Sussex.
What's it called? The farm, is it?
It's Glebe Farm.
Brian and Del are on their way to see a farmer, Dennis Russell, to collect a debt of nearly £5,000.
He's just ignoring us. But I'd like to really get in here today now. Hopefully he'll be open and we can go straight in.
Brian has tried unsuccessfully to collect the debt before, but today he's determined to get a result.
Is this it?
Yeah.
A dispute between Dennis Russell and his former business partner has been going on for 5 years. The case went to court. Mr. Russell lost, but failed to pay what he owed to his former partner.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Mr. Russell?
Wrong place, mate. Fuck off.
No.
Fuck off, wrong place.
No.
Yeah.
Is this Glebe Farm?
I don't give a fuck, mate. Hell.
Don't swear at me.
Hell.
I'm not swearing at you.
We're just making inquiries.
Hell.
No.
Is this Glebe Farm, sir?
I'm not leaving, no.
Right, so what do you want then?
Okay, I'm here to talk. I'm not here to be aggressive. If somebody comes out and they're immediately aggressive towards me, I ask myself, why? Why are you aggressive? Why are you behaving the way you are? It doesn't necessarily mean it's the person I'm looking for, but 9 times out of 10 it is.
We're looking for Dennis Russell. Is that you, sir?
No.
Does he live here?
Yeah, but he's not available. I don't know where he is. He's not available.
Okay, cool.
Okay. When will he be available?
I'm sorry, I can't answer that. He's, I don't know where he is.
You have a contact number for him?
No.
Okay. What's your position here on the farm?
What? I'll just, when he's away like he is today,
Okay.
I come round and I look after the place.
Oh, that's cool, that's cool. So you work here?
No, I don't work here, no.
You just help him out?
Just help him out.
Okay.
Does he rent this out? Do you rent this from him?
No, what it is, lots of this shit's mine. Where I look after the place, he just let me do me,
Oh, that's cool, man. Look, the reason I'm...
I told you.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, the reason I'm asking is because I don't want to touch anything of yours.
Right.
That's why I'm asking, all right?
Brian's looking for any goods he can seize if he can't get payment.
That, in there, the van's mine.
Happy days. I'll leave it alone. It's a dark environment, collecting money, dealing with individuals. They will be evasive because they don't want to pay.
The man claims he owns some of the things on the farm, but the agents need proof. Brian hopes that this will also flush out his identity.
I'm going to seize everything on his land.
Yep.
I'm now going to take control of it.
So what is it then you want from me?
Paperwork. Anything you have here, if you have any agreements for your stuff, you got paperwork for your boat and your vehicles?
Or logbook for the car?
Logbooks?
Something?
Insurance?
The only thing I can supply evidence for is the engine on the back of the boat. So I bought that brand new, but I haven't still got the documentation. But if you do a VIN check on it, you'll find out that it'll come back to me.
Okay.
Well, what's your name, then? What name will it come back to?
But, well, let's just keep talking for a minute.
What name will it come back to?
And what else? What sort of other stuff?
What's your name, sorry?
The man still refuses to give his name.
You're just deflecting. You're deflecting from a lot of questions.
You are him, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
What's your name, then? Because we've asked you, innit? If it's going to come back to you, what name is it going to come back to?
Well, that come back to me.
Yeah, what name's that, then?
I am not Dennis.
Are you related to him?
No, honestly, not at all. All I am is a friend. That's all I am, is a friend.
The thing is, the problem I have here is you're on his land, you're in his property, but yet you can't get hold of him. You're not identifying who you are to us. I'm going to seize everything now and start removing goods.
Under pressure from Brian, the man finally decides to reveal who he is.
I'll hold it if you don't mind.
Is that his surname, yeah, there?
Yeah.
He's not the debtor, after all. But even if Mr. Russell doesn't show up, after 2 hours, the team have the authority to start removing goods in his absence.
Daryl, jump in, mate.
What for?
Get the model for me. I don't think I'm going to squeeze in there. Here we go. What's that say? Ford 4000. There we go. Let's have a look at that. One just went for 3,850 quid, but that's in good nick. That'll need cleaning up.
That's a DEF, Leyland DEF, .150.
.150?
Yeah.
2,000.
Really?
Yeah, that can just be kicked in, mate.
It's been over an hour since the team arrived, and there's still no sign of Mr. Russell. But another person connected to the farm turns up.
Hi. I keep my horses here. Can I help you?
OK, no problem. I'm here regarding the resident of this property.
What is actually...
I can't divulge that information to you.
OK, love.
But I'm happy to work with you and make sure your stuff is safe. Let's have a look. Let's find out.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
no
right.
problem.
I've got a saddle in and bridle in there.
Cool.
I've got...
What, actually in the house?
Have you got... what's his name?
Russell.
Have you got Russell's telephone number?
Yeah.
The woman tries to reach Mr. Russell on the phone.
I take it you've brought the debt over, have you?
We don't, but we're here on behalf of the High Court. That's all we can tell you. It's above county court. It's up to the top.
Is it? Okay, there's no problem.
But there's no answer. The woman offers to try and track him down.
I'll get in my car, because I think I know where
And then go and find him.
Thank you so much for your help. Appreciate it, yeah. Cool.
While they wait for Mr. Russell, Brian and Dell keep looking for more assets.
How much do you think that's worth, Tina?
A monkey?
Please. I'd have 3 of them if they're worth 500 quid.
What are these?
Mate, 2-3 grand easily.
The woman has been successful. Mr. Russell finally arrives.
Hello. Hi, Dennis. How are you? How are you, chap? Thanks for coming back.
Thank you. We're here on behalf of DCBL.
Mr. Martin Paul Mitchell, the claimant. County Court judgment was issued on the 26th of February 2010.
Well, my business partner, well, I'll tell you what, I don't know him a penny, because I was the one that put all the money up for that business.
OK. The company before us attending has written to you 30 times.
I haven't received
Hang on a moment.
Just to hear what I'm saying, I'm not saying you've got no reason to stand there and lie to me, OK?
They contacted you in March 2013 and spoke to you, hung up the phone on them. This information, reiterate, you hung up the phone on previous debt company. Just listen, all right? I'm not saying you've done anything. This is the information given to me, and I'm relaying it to you, yeah? I've visited here previous, and I left a letter in your postbox down on the floor. Do you pick up your mail down there?
Yeah, but I haven't had anything lately.
Well, it's fine. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
I've been here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, baby.
This is my second time here.
Yeah.
Yeah? So what we need to do today, you may say you don't owe the money, but as far as I'm concerned, and with the High Court written in front of me, stamped at the High Court, you owe it.
But I'm going to tell you one thing there. He was my ex-business partner. Now, he's got the audacity to do that to me.
Can't pay it. I'm going to seize assets on this property here today.
Monday.
Has to be today.
Yeah.
Can you pay with card, or do you want to check?
You can pay with a card, yeah?
Fab, OK. What I suggest you do is you get your card, you pay
I haven't got a card. It's a savings account.
You can get a banker's draft. That's like cash. So
They won't give you anything if you go down like that, look.
Mr. Russell heads off to the bank, leaving Brian and Dell, hoping he'll be able to pay in full.
He's a lovely, lovely guy. He's got a heart of gold. He would do anything for you. But this with, this master.
you know
I
the
know
story.
all about it, and so, yeah.
Obviously, we don't know the history.
No.
You see, we have no inkling of it.
But he is, and if he doesn't understand something, that's why, my husband and I, we go down the bank with him.
An hour later, Mr. Russell returns from the bank.
Thank you.
I haven't even looked at it.
Yeah, count the check.
Yeah.
That's how they do it, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. There's a copy of the writ, OK? Here is a receipt for your payment.
OK.
We're going to leave you in peace now, Dennis, all right? Thank you for treating us the right way. We appreciate it. All right, we know it's difficult for you. All right?
After nearly 3 hours down on the farm, Brian and Dell finally have the payment.
Basically, he's buried his head. And chickens come home to roost, don't they? But he's a nice enough gent, and it's unfortunate the way it's gone.
Debt doesn't discriminate whether you're rich, poor, country boy or a city boy. Doesn't matter. He's a really nice guy. He's genuine, but he's still got to pay. He's gone through the process. He's still got to pay. But it's come to a head now. The 5-year battle is finished. That's it. It's done.
Brian and Dell played a waiting game to get the result they needed.
Recent figures show that the number of people in emergency accommodation is on the rise. For the last 3 years, the number of households affected has grown, with a 10% increase in this year alone. Over 75% of these households include children or pregnant women.
Paul and Phil are in Edmonton, North London, to enforce another eviction.
So it's a straightforward repossession, 2 people on the writ.
The local council housed a family from Kosovo in emergency accommodation. Most of the rent was paid for by housing benefit. but the rest had to be topped up by the family. But when they stopped paying, the council ended the lease.
Turn left onto Double Close.
For the last 2.5 months, the family have refused to leave. So now the landlord has got a High Court writ to evict the tenants today. An additional agent, Jason Newman, joins the team.
Hello. Hello, sir. My name is Paul Bowhill. I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
Okay.
We have a repossession order for the property. You're
I haven't been
expecting us...
told.
Sorry?
I haven't been told that.
It's been going on for months. Been to court.
No, but nobody else wrote me a letter.
Okay. Well, I'll do better than that. I'll give you a letter. There you go. We give you an hour to get your belongings together, immediate stuff, passports, phone charges, medication for your children.
Do you have any because it doesn't look like you have any right to move me like that straight away?
Does that help?
What
I'm
is
a
that?
High Court enforcement agent. If you don't want to move, we'll call the police. If you, but do we need all that fuss?
Well, it doesn't matter.
No? OK. We just need to get the locksmith in to change the locks, please.
How is this procedure going? You haven't let me know.
There is no warning for me to come. I'm from the High Court. There is no warning. I just turn up.
Mr. Alia has lived in the flat for 9 months with his partner Arta and their 2 young children. He's getting increasingly upset.
No, don't worry. If this place doesn't hold us, no problem. We go back to our country. What you showing to us, racism. That's all. You don't show nothing else. Just racism.
We're not racist. We have a writ that asks us to, or commands us to carry out an instruction, and we carry that out, regardless of the person's race, creed, or colour.
I'm from Kosovo. Yeah? And you're showing just racism. In this country, only racism. And bring no peace nowhere in this world.
I find it hard to comment when he's over here, obviously living off housing support. When the system goes against him, as opposed to him playing it, he pulls a racist card, so there's not much I can say without getting angry at him, really.
No problem. We leave this home, and if you are happy, we leave your country as well. No problem. No problem. Long as we have our peace in our heart, no matter. But you guys are just doing nothing, nowhere.
Let him have his 2-minute rant, and he'll be down, he'll be housed again within a week. It's a system.
How is possible moving to one family with 2 little kids, with 2 just little babies?
I get very annoyed that people are abusing the system, and are clearly abusing the system, and there's no excuse. Then the landlord is actually entrenched, and he's fighting a battle that can take up to a year to get rid of them, during which time they pay no rent.
Excuse me, I want you out of the way, because you're holding me, yeah? Otherwise, you tell me 2 hours, don't tell me 1 hour. Because they're holding us on the way. I'm speaking to you.
At 1 o'clock, we will lock the door.
Don't hold me.
Just carry on, just carry on. If you talk less and just move more.
Don't think you're in a high position. You're not
I
in a high
don't mind.
position, you're in a low position.
That's okay. I don't care what you think, sir. I haven't got a problem. Just be out of here by 1 o'clock. People can throw at us whatever they think is going to have an effect. And eventually they calm down or go away because they can see that it's having no effect. If we were to react to any of it, it would exacerbate the situation.
Sotto dove? Kufarian. Kufarian.
Nu chiar asta e eu. Asta pe ta rapid tot zor, rapid știi rapid camaleon.
Has it come along nearly?
He's says 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm only asking how it's going. Yeah?
You see me back in the house.
The deadline's come and gone, but Paul's anxious not to inflame an already tense situation.
It's got to be a little bit careful because this one could kick off. Can you sort of wrap it up now?
Të qakujt për të vëllës jam. Jam të qakujt për të. So kur s'pe qajnë të për mu. Hade kapi të sërraqë që të për joshta.
Që të rrasë?
Kapi që të sërraqë, që të pjote kapi që të. Që shpo kapi? Mi si kapi të në qesër, se mi thënë. Shma që qëmë.
I'd like you to go in 5 minutes. The housing system that we have it, if you look at the global picture, to use the legal term, it's completely and utterly fucked. There are so many people out there who either can't or won't take responsibility for their own lives. Well, the council will have to find me a house. It's always somebody else's fault. Right. All done?
Yes.
The family is now homeless.
If they go to the council, they'll have to accommodate them because they've got children, and they'll put them back in emergency accommodation. So the whole cycle is just repeated. So people like this could end up perpetually in emergency accommodation and not paying any rent.
Next time, Stuart and Vic face an explosive standoff.
We need to quickly go because we need to control the vehicle.
Paul meets a tenant who won't budge.
Will you open the door, please, or otherwise we'll break it down?
And in a shocking case, he takes extreme measures to help.
You've been given a period of grace. I don't want you and me to fall out.
No.
But if we have to, we will.